The knock came at 6:43 a.m. I know this because I was staring at my phone, trying to decide whether 3 hours of sleep counted as rest or merely as expensive insomnia. Business trips to nowhere towns always screwed with my head, but this Hampton Inn felt different. Housekeeping! Just need to clean real quick. I froze. The voice was male and gravelly, like he'd been smoking since middle school. I hadn't put out the do not disturb sign because, honestly, who bothers you at 6:43 a.m.?
I didn't request housekeeping.
I called through the door. Hotel policy, ma'am. Daily cleaning. It won't take but a minute. I moved closer to the peephole. A man in a gray janitor's uniform stood there, hands shoved deep in his pockets. Something about his posture made my skin crawl. He was too still, eager, and patient.
I said no, thank you.
He didn't move for a long moment. He just stood there, and I could feel him listening, breathing on the other side of that thin hotel door. Finally, his footsteps retreated down the hallway. I should have chalked it up to overzealous hotel staff and tried to squeeze in another hour before my client meeting. Instead, I found myself pacing the small room while that encounter replayed in my head like a broken record. 20 minutes later, I heard it again, the same knock and rhythm, but it wasn't my door. It was coming from down the hall. I pressed my ear to the door, holding my breath. Housekeeping! Just need to clean real quick. I had to look. My primal gut was screaming that this wasn't right, and I've learned to trust that voice. It's kept me alive in boardrooms full of predators, and apparently it works in shady hotels too. I turned the deadbolt as quietly as possible and cracked the door open just enough to see down the hallway. Room 237. He was standing there in that same gray uniform. His hands weren't in his pockets anymore. They were on the door handle. He was trying to open it, rather desperately. He didn't have a cart, cleaning supplies, or key cards. He was merely a man in a worn-out uniform, testing door handles as if he were shopping for unlocked rooms. The woman in 237 must have been smarter than me, or maybe just more tired, because she didn't answer. He stood there for another 30 seconds, testing the handle again, then moved to 239. My hands were shaking now. I watched him try 3 more doors, the same routine each time. He performed a polite knock, recited the scripted line, and then gently tested the handle when no one answered. He moved like he had all the time in the world, like the moment was just another Tuesday morning. Room 243 opened. I couldn't see who answered, but I heard a woman's voice, groggy and confused.
I didn't order housekeeping.
Hotel policy, ma'am. Daily cleaning.
I don't know. I'm not dressed.
Won't take but a minute. Just need to check something real quick. The way he said check something made my stomach turn. There was hunger in his voice now, barely contained excitement that hadn't been there when he knocked on my door. I slammed my door shut and grabbed my phone, fingers fumbling as I dialed the front desk.
Hampton Inn, this is Derek. How can I help you? There's a man in a janitor's uniform going door to door, claiming to be housekeeping. He tried to get into my room, and now he's down the hall trying other doors. A man? Ma'am, our housekeeper is a woman, and she doesn't start until 10 a.m.
The blood drained from my face.
What? Maria is our only housekeeper on duty today, and she won't be in for another 2 hours. What room are you in? 231. He's at room 243 right now. I think he got someone to open their door. I'm calling security and police right now. Stay in your room and don't open the door for anyone.
I hung up and pressed my ear to the door again. The hallway had gone quiet. Too quiet. No voices, no footsteps, nothing. Then I heard it. A soft, muffled crying coming from down the hall that will haunt me until the day I die. I grabbed the security latch and chained my door, then dragged the desk chair over and wedged it under the handle. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears, drowning everything else out. 3 minutes later, I heard running footsteps in the hallway. It had to be security, the police. They were shouting. Then the door slammed open. Ma'am, are you okay? Ma'am, can you hear me? The crying was louder now. I stayed pressed against my door for what felt like hours, but was probably only 20 minutes. Finally, there was a gentle knock on my door. Miss, this is Officer Martinez with the police department. The man has been apprehended. You're safe now. When I finally opened the door, the hallway was full of people. Police officers, hotel security, paramedics. The woman from 243 was sitting on the floor outside her room, wrapped in a hotel bathrobe, still crying. She was bleeding from her head. The man got inside and hit her with a rusty spanner. He could have done way worse to the woman if the cops didn't show up in time. Officer Martinez explained that the man had been using the janitor disguise to target female guests. He'd hit 3 other hotels in the past month, always the same route, always the same script. The officer's expression told me everything. Let's just say your call saved her life. I checked out that morning and drove straight home, but I can't shake the image of him standing in the hallway. The patience, the calculation, the way he tried my door handle just to see, just in case I'd been careless with the lock. I still travel for work, but now I always request rooms near the elevator, always check the peephole twice, always verify housekeeping with the front desk, even if it seems too much.